Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Cami Watkins. I'm the Executive Director of Inclusive Communities, an affiliate of the National Federation of Just Communities based in Nebraska. I'm honored to speak with you about a topic that is both crucial and timely: diversity, equity, and inclusion, or DEI, in the Trump era. As DEI practitioners, we face unique challenges and opportunities in this social political climate. Today, we'll explore how to navigate these challenges, what to be cautious of, and how to support our communities through mental health check-ins while promoting cross-cultural unity. Now, to understand how we can effectively navigate diversity, equity, and inclusion in the Trump era, we must first acknowledge the context. The social political changes during this time has significantly impacted our efforts. Policies and rhetoric have often polarized communities, making our work more challenging, yet more essential. The Trump administration's stance on various social issues has led to rollbacks in DEI initiatives, creating a more hostile environment for not only marginalized groups, but also for community connectedness as a whole. As DEI practitioners, we face an increased polarization, which affects workplace and community dynamics. Conversations around race, gender, and identity have become more contentious. And the risks of this backlash against our programming that simply name inequities as an issue for communities in order for us to work towards solving them. These pushbacks have included reduced funding, rollbacks in our initiatives, which not only have served those who are often left on the margins, but are also creating better workplace cultures and economic prosperity for everyone. As well as we've seen legislative barriers that are reducing the rights of individuals and groups within our communities, making us less safe and less free. These initiatives and limitations arise from a lack of institutional support and understanding of the real impacts and benefits of effective DEI programs, and are often the result of fear-based decision-making and challenges that come from addressing deeply ingrained biases. So, to navigate these challenges, we must stay informed and adaptable. Using data-driven approaches to identify and address inequities is crucial. Continuous education and training will empower us to respond effectively to the evolving landscape. The impact of these DEI rollbacks in the United States resonates globally, influencing DEI practices in other countries, including South Korea. Now, as I understand it, in South Korea, DEI is still an emerging concept, particularly in higher education and primary school settings. The social political climate in the US can affect how DEI is perceived and implemented abroad. For instance, South Korea has been transitioning from a monoethnic society to a multicultural one, making DEI increasingly more relevant. And we know that Diversity Korea has been operating for 10 years, navigating DEI work in your country. Yet there are many that are just joining in on this movement with them in this era of our society. So, in doing so, you must recognize that there are still potential pitfalls that could derail your efforts. In particular, performative actions can undermine genuine DEI efforts. Things like tokenism must be avoided to ensure meaningful representation. Thus, maintaining integrity and credibility is paramount. Lastly, transparency in our initiatives builds trust and fosters authentic engagement. Being vigilant and committed, we can uphold the true values of diversity, equity, inclusion, and not perpetuate the false narratives created by those who seek to dismantle our efforts. Remember, DEI is and always has been about belonging, promoting dignity, and a just society for all people, regardless of our differences. That brings me to supporting communities through mental health. Mental health is a critical aspect of DEI. Social political stressors can significantly impact the mental health of marginalized communities. Therefore, implementing regular mental health check-ins is essential. Some practical tips to do so include creating safe spaces for open dialogue and support. By highlighting available health resources, and support networks, you can make a difference in the lives of the people you are serving. Also, collaboration with mental health practitioners will enhance your efforts to support communities effectively. In Omaha, for example, we are supporting activists, advocates, and community support workers by providing community healing events. We call this our Healing the Healers practice. This prioritizes mental health well being for all people. And as we truly believe, it is difficult to care for others' needs if our needs are not cared for. In a metaphor that we use here in the US that a friend once shared with me, which inspires my self care practice, is a play on an older metaphor that states, and I quote, "You can't pour from an empty cup, so you must fill your cup in order to fill the cup of others." Well, my friend adjusted this metaphor to say that she doesn't pour from her cup at all, but instead, others can take from her cup's overflow. By ensuring that you have all your essential needs met, you are not only surviving, but thriving. Then you will have an abundance by which you can share with others and give back to the community without depleting yourself. Now, since community is such an important part of DEI, we must ensure that we remain intersectional in our activism. Promoting cross-cultural unity is a vital for fostering inclusive environments. Creating spaces where diverse perspectives are valued is key. Activities and programs that celebrate cultural diversity can bridge gaps and build understanding. However, facilitating cross-cultural collaboration requires intentional strategies. Not every community has the same needs and wants. Successful examples of cross-cultural initiatives can inspire and guide our efforts, but those that lack intentionality can create division. So it's important to understand each community's unique needs and honor those and ensure that your collaborations aren't one-sided. Building collaborations as a tool for our DEI strategy is crucial for our longevity and survival. Therefore, connect with people in spaces in which they are already gathered and support their initiatives in addition to asking them to support yours. A good example of this are what are sometimes called rainbow coalitions, or coalitions that focus on bringing individuals or groups with apparent disparate needs together to speak with a unified voice on a common issue like accessibility, in which you are able to then collectively fight for justice for all people equally. Now, as I wrap up, I want to share what you can be doing when your official role is not as a DEI practitioner, but instead perhaps you're a diversity trainer or an activist or an institutional leader. You can advocate for policy changes. Work towards influencing policies that support diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives at local, national, and global levels. Strengthen your community engagement. Build strong relationships with community organizations to create a united front against DEI rollbacks. Enhance your training programs. Develop comprehensive training programs that address current social-political challenges and equip individuals with the tools they need to navigate them. Promote allyship. We all often talk about allyship, but we have to encourage individuals and institutions to become active allies in the fight for equity and inclusion. Not only should we be teaching it, but we also have to demonstrate it by being good allies in the spaces where we personally hold power and influence. Lastly, leverage technology. Using digital platforms to reach a broader audience and create virtual spaces for DEI discussions and training will be critical for us to make sure that we can move our actions forward and more quickly. Now, for DEI practitioners, here are 5 basic tips to remember during this anti-DEI era. 1, stay adaptable and informed. Keep up with global DEI trends and be ready to adapt strategies to your local context. 2, foster collaboration. Work with local and international stakeholders to share best practices and promote collective DEI efforts. This action and this meeting that GHOC has put together is a great example of that. 3, promote continuous learning. You personally should invest in your own ongoing education and training to stay ahead of emerging DEI challenges while also doing the same for those in the DEI ecosystem. 4, build inclusive environments. Create spaces where all voices are heard and valued, regardless of cultural or national background. During this period in our history, it can feel really lonely to do this type of work. So, engaging our networks and creating space for us to connect and grow and share and vent and just support each other will be vital for our sustainability. And number 5, support mental health. Prioritize mental health check ins and provide resources to support the well being of marginalized communities and yourself. In conclusion, navigating DEI in the Trump era presents challenges, but it also offers opportunities for growth and unity. By staying informed, maintaining integrity, supporting mental health, and promoting cross cultural unity, we can make a meaningful impact. I encourage you to actively engage in DEI efforts. Together, we can create a more inclusive and equitable future. Thank you for your time and participation. Let's continue to work towards hope and unity.